episode 8, I believe, of this Python tutorial series. Today we're going over something called a while loop. And what a while loop is it combines conditional statements with like if, elif, else statements with for loops. And so I'll explain as I go, but that's basically the gist of while loops. And so let me do an example and I'll explain on the way. X equals 5, y equals 10. So we'll have numbers. And to create a while loop, it's pretty simple. You just go while, and then you make a condition. And so this is basically saying while this condition is still met, do this function. If not, the condition is broken, right? And so you go while x is less than y, do this condition. And if x is equal to y or greater than y or whatever, if that condition changes and is not met, the while loop stops and it's broken. And so that's basically it. And so let me explain so you guys can understand more. We'll print x. So we'll print the value of x if x is less than y. And then every time we'll add 1 to x. Or else this while loop will go on forever because x will always be less than y unless we change something. So we go x is equal to x plus 1. And I want to explain something. Instead of always having to write x equals x plus 1, this could get annoying. All you could do is x plus equals 1. This is the same thing, x equals x plus 1, but just more compact. And so every time while x is less than y, it's going to print x, and it's going to add 1. And it's going to keep on doing it because it's going to keep on being met until x is equal to 10. So let's run it. X is going to be printed just like that. So x starts out at 5, and 5 is less than 10. So we're going to print out 5 and we're going to add it, and it's going to go to 6. 6 is less than 10, printing 6 goes to 7. 7 is less than 10, same thing till it gets to 9. 9 is less than 10, right? Printing 9. 9 plus 1 is 10, so 10 is not less than 10 anymore. It stops. So this code is done, and it goes on to the next code below it. And that's the gist of while loops, and you could do whatever you want with them. All it is just it's mixing conditional statements and for loops, and you could still use break and you could still use continue with them. So we'll make an example. We'll have x equals 10 while x is greater than 0 or greater than 1. Let's just do it while x is greater than 1. Print x, and x is minus equal, so it's just x equals x minus 1 instead of x equals x plus 1. X is equal to itself minus 1. And so it keeps on subtracting it until x is less than or less than or equal to 1, which is the condition is done. And we could use break and continue, like if x is equal to 7, continue. So it doesn't even, or we'll break it, right? Because it's just going to keep on going forever if we use continue. We'll use break. It will be like print we hate the number 7. And it stops the whole for loop. You could use break and continue just like you use it in for loops. So we'll run it just like that. So it starts at 10. 10 is greater than 1. It prints 10. Doesn't satisfy this condition, subtracts it. And it goes 9, 8, and then once it hits 7, 7 is still greater than 1, so it goes through the while loop, prints the number 7, and then if x equals 7, print we hate this number 7, and we'll break it. And so this condition doesn't always have to be satisfied. You could just break the whole statement just like you're breaking a for loop. And that's basically it with while loops. If you understand for loops, while loops will be a piece of cake. I use for loops a lot more than while loops, but it's always, good to explain it, and if you see it, you'll understand what it does. It's just mixing conditional statements and for loop statements. And that's basically it. This is a lot shorter of an episode because I've explained a lot of this already in the video before in episode 7. But just moving on to while loops. And so thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any more questions, just leave it in the comments below. But yeah, that's while loops for you guys. I'll see you guys in episode 9. Take care.